I had very strict school teacher parents, and they were very supportive about giving me lessons and everything. But when I decided I wanted to do it as a livelihood, they were not for that. I always loved jazz, and I always loved soul music and James Brown and the jazz guys I listened to were Miles Davis, and then I always Stevie Wonder. Those people really kind of made me want to get on the piano and work out their songs.
And following your studies at Manhattan and various others, how did fame come about? Because I guess Alan Parker spotted you, did he?
Actually, I had gone to Manhattan School of Music, and one of the teachers there suggested me to Fame's casting department, which was a casting person that worked for MGM. They called me, and I was not trying to be an actor at that point. I had no 8x10 picture. And I was basically this pianist that was helping other people with their acting auditions if they had to do songs. And I was always very happy that I didn't have to go around and grovel at auditions. And all of a sudden, here I was walking into an audition and being asked to read something and play the piano at the same time. And Alan put his arm around me and he said, "That was excellent." So I thought, oh, this is easy. What's so difficult about this?
The movie itself changed your life effectively, didn't it?
It did become a TV series, which got me out to Los Angeles. And I think I normally would have just stayed in New York, like I was in a prison cell and I was the prisoner and the warden. I just really had no reason to go anywhere else but New York. I thought everything was there. And, here I was living in L.A. and doing this show all of a sudden.
In a sense, though, the movie and the television series were completely different projects, not just for the cast changes and so on, but they had a totally different feel about them, didn't they? Alan Parker had a movie there that was human, but fairly hard-hitting in some respects, whereas the television series and the subsequent tours that came with them from the kids from Fame were a lot more comfortable, weren't they?
Right. Well, I was always trying to find that grit in the TV show, and it didn't exist. I mean, I remember one time I was wearing this corduroy jacket, and it was way too clean and starched, and I took it out on the street and I dragged it around the street just to make it a little dirty. And as soon as I got to the set, I had a team of people scrubbing me to get the dirt off it. And I realized at that point, wait a second, this is not the movie, and it's closer to a cartoon than it was a slice of reality.
Now, through the movie and the television series, though, you did have the opportunity to develop your own writing and styles of composition and so on, and some of your songs were included in the TV series, I think, weren't they?
Yeah, that was the fun part, was that whenever they had Bruno singing, they would ask me to pen something. And the schedule was so tough doing that show. It was usually a 12-hour day, and then I'd go home and I'd try to write a song. Of course, I was probably the best choice of someone to write something for my own voice, since I didn't give myself too much of a range to sing.
Since then, you've done, well, all sorts of things, really, from film and television work, commercials and so on. You've been really busy, haven't you?
I just sort of, kind of continuing the model of the way I used to live in Manhattan before I started doing the movie, just did everything I knew how to do. And, music is something that I guess just came naturally, and people don't really want to pay me to do much else.
Was it tough to actually shake off that Kids from Fame image, though, to get these sort of contracts?
Yeah, it's interesting because, when Fame was very fresh in people's minds, they were more reluctant to hire me as a composer because they just assumed that the whole thing was Hollywood, that I didn't really do what I was, being presented to do, represented as doing. So it took me a few years to actually kind of get back into the musical groove of work. Just distance from the show was a good thing.